How's it going, viewers? I just wanted to do a quick, I guess it is a bit of a celebration of an anniversary that just came up. It's probably not what you think. This one's actually about a small little video game that came out here in America 20 years ago, actually. Yeah, today, 20 years ago. Yeah, yeah, I think today is the day. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was yesterday or today. Actually, I probably should look into it. But yeah, 20 years ago, a small RPG came out here in America called Earthbound. Now, in Japan, it was called Mother 2, so that means they got Mother 1 over there. Here in America, we didn't get that game, so they brought Mother 2 over here and called it Earthbound instead, since it wouldn't make sense to call it Mother 2. So, 20 years ago, what I think is one of the greatest RPGs ever made uh, was released today. When it first came out, I couldn't obviously play it when it first came out, because one, it was back in 95, and I was born in 92, so there would have been no way in hell I could have played a game like Earthbound when I was only 3. But yeah, I think I learned about NES and Earthbound just the same way everyone else did here in America. Um, or not everyone, just a majority of us probably know NES from a fighting game that came out in 98, I think. And it's this little gem right here, Super Smash Brothers. When my friend introduced me to this fighting game, I usually at the time only played Mortal Kombat and Tekken, and he told me, "Hey, you gotta try out Smash Brothers. This game's really fun." And I tried it out, and to be honest, I didn't like it at first, and I love it now. But back then, I didn't know how the controls worked. I was used to button inputs and not um, whatever the fighting style in this game is. I don't know what you'd call it, directional inputs. But yeah, there was 12 characters included in this game, and I knew 10 of them. I knew who Mario, Luigi, Fox, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Samus, Link, and I think I'm missing someone. But I didn't know two of the characters in this game. I didn't know. I didn't know who Captain Falcon was because I never played an F-Zero game, and I did not know who Ness was because I'd never played Earthbound. So when I eventually got my own copy of this game, I unlocked everything on it, all the stages, all the basically all the characters, and there was this little tiny section in the game called character bios, I think is what it was called. And I was checking out the character bios to see what the game's and a brief summary of who the character is. So I'm reading through Mario's, reading through Link's, reading through Samus's, um, and I stumbled across Ness's profile, and it says he came from a game called Earthbound on the Super NES. And I owned the Super Nintendo, but I never owned Earthbound. And I wanted a copy. I was interested because I used Ness in Smash Bros. And I thought his moveset was really cool. But I'm like, who the hell is this character? Because I don't know Earthbound. I don't know who he is. So I was looking around for a copy of Earthbound, and I could never find one. And I didn't know how to buy online. So I didn't get to play the game until... Actually, I played the game sometime around... I had a PSP at the time, so I played it through an emulator, and it was probably around, I was still in high school, I think. Or no, I was in middle school already. It was 2005 or 2006. So 9 or 10 years ago, I played it on an emulator, and I loved it. I loved Earthbound. I loved the soundtrack to it was good, or amazing. I loved it. I liked how I feel like this is probably one of the best American. It's a Japanese RPG, don't get me wrong, but it's supposed to like poke fun of it at the American culture. You know, it has references to a lot of 80s and 90s Americana in it. You know, the Beatles, Mr. T, as one of the songs sounds like Johnny B. Good. You know, the kids look American. A lot of the cities are based off American cities. I think it's Forsyth, the one that looks like Brooklyn, New York. I could be wrong though, because that one's the one that has skyscrapers and Brooklyn, or the bridge that looks like the Brooklyn Bridge, and yeah, I just love it. Onet, or sorry, Onet. I'm used to calling it Onet. I know it's mispronouncing it, but Onet. You know, it just looks like a small town. You know, everybody was born in a small town at one point. I don't know about everyone. I was, at least. I was born in a small town. And that's what made me relate to Ness at first. I'm like, oh, okay, you know, it's just a small town kid going on a big adventure. And I don't know, it's just this game is so amazing. I know people hype it up to no end, but I feel like it lives up to it. By today's standards, it hasn't exactly aged all that well. There are a few gripes I have with the game, such as um, small inventory space for items, um, the fact that you can't run, you could only walk, which really kills it in when you want to play it. I mean, once you get used to it, it doesn't bother that much, but when you're used to more new RPGs where you can run or have a faster mode of transportation, it slows Earthbound down. But still a great game. Yeah, another few gripes is like that. It's been a while, honestly, since I played this game. The first time I played it was actually the last time I played it. So I'm just trying to remember what I remember. There's that little mushroom on the top of the head that made you walk. It put the opposite directional input. So if you want to walk up, or yeah, if you wanted to walk to the left, you had to turn it right. So weird with that trippy mushroom on the head. And yeah, other than that, the game has a few things that hold it back, but in my eyes, it's a perfect RPG. Um, as it stands, it's still very fun and playable to this day. But yeah, you can tell it came out in the '90s. So I wish I owned a copy of Earthbound, but I'm sure everybody knows how expensive it is online to get a copy. But yeah, I own some sort of Earthbound merchandise, I guess. No, not much really. I only own two games that Ness is in, and the Ness amiibo, which I got recently as well. I know a lot of people wish they had a Ness amiibo, and I can't blame them. First of all, this amiibo looks really cool. I like the detail on the amiibo, it looks awesome. Isn't that just the coolest thing? Oh man. I wish, I mean, I am celebrating 20th anniversary of Earthbound, but I wish Nintendo would release Mother 1 and Mother 3 over here as well. Um, you know, I'm sure they can tell the fan base, is begging for these games and we want it over here. But, I mean, they released Mother or Earthbound on the Virtual Console on the Wii U, but it's just basically a port of the original SNES Earthbound. And yeah, another thing is awesome is that in Smash 4, Lucas is going to be back as a DLC character. I'm happy. I was really excited when they announced Lucas, but I was kind of hoping they'd bring Paula back, because if you didn't know, actually all the moves Ness and Lucas had kind of were Paula's in the first place. Um, Paula was the one that originally used PK Thunder and PK Freeze and PK Fire. Ness, as far as I remember, was the only move that really was his was PK Flash and PK Magnet. I think that's what it was called, or PK Absorb. I don't remember. But yeah, most of the moves Ness and Lucas have aren't even theirs. They're Paula's, which I'm not against having Lucas and Ness in Smash, and I'm happy they are. But I kind of wish they'd give Paula a shot as well, since those moves are hers. But whatever. Yeah, it's cool that this game introduced me to one of the greatest RPGs and one of the greatest characters in my opinion. And this still is my favorite Smash Bros. To this day, and Ness is my main in this game right here. Ness was awesome to use in Smash. I mean, sure there was a learning curve to using Ness, but when I learned to use Ness, I became a big fan of his and Earthbound. I use Ness from time to time in Smash 4. His moveset's still pretty good. I don't like that they changed a few of his moves. I mean, it wasn't drastic changes, but they added a few things that make pulling off combos with him a little more challenging. But other than that, I feel like he plays the best in the original Smash 64 and Smash 4. In Melee and Brawl, I did not like Ness at all. I don't know what they did to his moveset that I couldn't use him. But yeah, these are the only two Smash games I own. And this is the only Earthbound merchandise I own here in America. I wish I could get a poster or a game or a yo-yo or a baseball cap or anything Earthbound, but I don't know, Nintendo just thinks it's not a good idea to bring Earthbound to the States. I don't know why. But yeah, there's still hope. I really wish they would release a trilogy pack or a Mother 4, or I don't know, remake the entire Mother trilogy with the Mother 3 engine, because Mother 3 introduced a lot of cool features like if you were to input a attack at the right time, you could. It's so weird to explain. In a battle, there's these musical notes that come out. If you time it right and you hit the A button at the right time, it'll add an extra attack. It's not a lot of damage, but it's enough to, you know, make the move count more. But yeah, it's the 20th anniversary of this little guy, and one of the greatest RPGs ever made. Top 10, no doubt about it. You know, the characters were awesome. Pooh, Jeff, Paula, Ness. The game looks good for a 16-bit game on the Super Nintendo. The soundtrack is really, really good. The battles look cool. I mean, it's first person, kind of like Dragon's Quest, but it has these really, really trippy backgrounds and really cool music. And yeah, I love Earthbound. It's an amazing game, and I really wish we'd get more over here. But yeah, I have hope that we might get them. We might not, but as it stands, I've played Mother. I've only played Mother 3 and Earthbound. I haven't played Mother 1 or Earthbound 0, whatever you call it, the one with Nintendo. But yeah, Earthbound's amazing. If you haven't played it, play it. It's on the eShop. Download it. It's only $10, which is way cheaper than what eBay sellers are asking for. And trust me when I say this, it's an amazing game. And the ending to the game is way out of left field. I did not see an ending like that coming. A final boss battle like that was crazy. Yeah, I only did it one time and I beat it on my first try, but even then I almost lost. But yeah, Earthbound's an experience. It's really tough to recommend it to someone through reviews. It's something you need to play. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Long live the Mother series. Long live Earthbound. I wish we get more games over here, but as it stands, we're kind of in the dust. But I want to end this off on a positive note. Earthbound is amazing. Play it. One of my top 5 favorite RPGs for my list, which I might do someday. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Peace out, and Fuzzy Pickles.